A character arc is the transformation or development a character goes through throughout a story. There isn't a single formula or absolute process for creating a character arc, but most go down a common pathway as far as the steps, but it can vary greatly depending on the story, genre, and characters involved. Writers that are able to create a character arc that stands out from the rest should be praised because they promise a truly compelling story. And today that brings us to Zuko.
Hello, Zuko here.
Here's what makes Zuko's character arc perfect. The introduction and establishment. To start every character arc, we need to meet the character and become established with them. This is where the audience meets the character and gets to know their initial state or situation. Zuko is introduced as the banished prince of the Fire Nation, driven by the desire to capture the Avatar and regain his honor.
Because their honor didn't hinge on the Avatar's capture. Mine does.
Torn between his loyalty to his nation and his own sense of morality. This makes him very brash and short-tempered when interacting with others.
You will teach me the advanced set!
Very well. But first, I must finish my roast duck.
And his Uncle Iroh is a great contributor when it comes to balancing his good and evil.
We know the Avatar is traveling northward, so we will do the same.
Prince Zuko, consider the safety of the crew.
The safety of the crew doesn't matter. Finding the Avatar is far more important than any individual's safety.
He doesn't mean that. He's just all worked up.
Initial desires and goals. Every character arc begins with some sort of desire or goal or need they want to fulfill. This can be something tangible or intangible, like finding love, achieving success, or even overcoming a personal flaw. Zuko's initial desire is to capture the Avatar and restore his honor, which he believes will earn him his father's approval and acceptance back into the Fire Nation. This goal is established very early on, the first episode in fact, and serves as the driving force behind all of his actions throughout the majority of the series.
You can't sacrifice an entire division like that. Those soldiers love and defend our nation. How can you betray them?
Zuko was right, you see. But it was not his place to speak out.
Although Zuko isn't inherently bad, his desire to catch the Avatar pushes him to make bad decisions. The Inciting Incident. Something has to happen that disrupts the character's ordinary world and sets the story in motion. This event challenges the character's initial state and often forces him to confront their fears. The inciting incident for Zuko is his banishment by his father, Fire Lord Ozai.
Zuko had spoken out against the general's plan, but by doing so in the Fire Lord's war room, it was the Fire Lord whom he had disrespected. Zuko would have to doom his own father.
This event sets Zuko on a path of mistakes, redemption, and self-discovery, as he learns what the consequences of his actions and expectations placed upon him by his father, sister, and nation. He's also torn by never discovering what happened to his mother.
Where's Mom? No one knows. Oh, and last night, Grandpa passed away.
But he does have a sneaking suspicion that his father may have something to do with it. Although this doesn't weigh on him as much, it is another stress in the back of his mind. Resistance and denial. Characters initially resist or deny the need to confront the challenges that directly came from the inciting or traumatizing incident. They may try to maintain the status quo or ego while avoiding dealing with the situation altogether. And Zuko does this quite often. Initially, Zuko resists change and clings to his beliefs that capturing the Avatar is the only way to restore his honor and reclaim his place in the Fire Nation. He rejects any alternative paths or opportunities for growth, which his uncle tries to show him, but blinded by his obsession with fulfilling his father's expectations, he doesn't give in.
Father regrets your banishment. He wants you home.
Father regrets? He wants me back?
Confrontation and struggle. Character arcs obtain obstacles and challenges related to the desired goal. This is where they begin to grapple or struggle with the conflict introduced by the inciting incident.
Raise the anchors! We're taking the prisoners home! Your Highness,
Zuko faces a ton of obstacles and challenges in his venture to capture the Avatar, including battles with his own conscience, conflicts with his sister Azula, and the realization that his father's approval may never be obtainable. He struggles with his identity and purpose, torn between his loyalty to his nation and his growing sense of empathy for others. When Zuko finally confronts the struggle inside him, he catches a fever because the battle inside of him was so intense that it broke down his body. Uncle Iroh helps to push him to make the changes inside of him and discover his own destiny. Now, what makes Zuko's story so special and different from most character arcs is his return to the old ways after his change. He originally only begins to change because he realized his father was going to only take him and his uncle back as prisoners by sending Azula to capture them. When Zuko accepts his father truly will never take him back, he gives up his desire to capture the Avatar, but only temporarily. But in the meantime, he was happy and enjoying his new life with his uncle and his new tea shop in Ba Sing Se. This time taught him humility and to appreciate the smaller things in life.
Congratulations, Uncle.
I'm very thankful.
You deserve it.
Zuko isn't complete at healing from his past, and his wound reopens when his sister offers him one more opportunity to reclaim his honor and come back home. Zuko lets his old self back in and becomes who he had recently tried to get rid of. Letting his uncle down, it was now time for Zuko to learn on his own. The hard way. This goes to show that some people have to experience the mistake for them to learn and evolve. Not everyone can just learn from warnings or watching others make mistakes, which makes Zuko a really relatable character to the audience because we've all been there and done that before, at least once in one aspect in our lives. He feels regret and disgust with himself, like when you look back at something you've done in the past and you just cringe at it and embarrassed by it, wondering why in the world did I do that? We all know this feeling very well, and it can even make the lesson more valuable. For the audience, this second damning of Zuko makes his arc even more satisfying. Transformation and change. This is where the transformation really begins. The character undergoes significant internal and or external change as a result of their experiences and struggles. This can involve overcoming personal flaws, gaining new insights, or acquiring new skills. Zuko's transformation begins when he learns empathy for others, especially after being betrayed by his own father and witnessing the suffering caused by the Fire Nation's aggression firsthand. He begins to question his beliefs and motivations, realizing that there's more to honor than blind loyalty and obedience. Like his Uncle Iroh has been trying to tell him, he finally sees for himself, and he regrets everything he put his uncle through.
I'm back home now. My dad talks to me. He even thinks I'm a hero. Everything should be perfect, right? I'm angrier than ever, and I don't know why.
Is it Dad?
No.
Your uncle?
Me?
No.
Talk to us.
Come on, answer the question.
Come on, answer it.
I'm angry at myself! Because I'm not sure I know the difference between right and wrong anymore.
Zuko confronts his father and finally decides he will make his own destiny.
Get out! Get out of my sight right now if you know what's good for you.
That's another thing. I'm not taking orders from you anymore.
Or this defiant breath will be your last.
Think again. I am going to speak my mind, and you are going to listen.
He finally becomes himself like his mother and Iroh told him to be. Believe it or not, Appa was the first one to sense that he actually changed. Acceptance and resolution. The character has to come to terms with the changes they've undergone and accept the consequences of their actions. They may achieve their initial desire or goal, or they may find a new sense of purpose or direction. Zuko's acceptance comes when he realizes that his true destiny lies not in capturing the Avatar, but in restoring balance and peace to the world.
I won't let you down. I promise.
He chooses to reject his former quest for honor and joins Aang and his friends, embracing a new sense of purpose and identity. He's even rewarded by his decision to join the Avatar by becoming a true firebender who doesn't rely on anger and rage to fuel his firebending.
I understand.
He learns how to truly firebend using its true sources: the sun, the dragons, and the life and energy of the soul. When the group finally embraces him as one of their own, he discovers that the honor he sought is actually in their acceptance, not his father's. Then finally, the conclusion. The character's arc concludes, either with a sense of fulfillment or with the recognition that their journey is ongoing. This often ties back to the themes of the story and leaves the audience with a sense of resolution. Zuko's arc concludes with him finding redemption and forgiveness, both from himself and especially his uncle. then finally defeating his sister. He becomes a wise and compassionate leader, embodying the teachings of Uncle Iroh and working towards positive change in the Fire Nation and the world at large. Throughout his journey, Zuko undergoes profound internal and external changes, wrestling with his own demons, ultimately emerging as a hero who fights for what is right. His character arc is a testament to the power of redemption, forgiveness, and the capacity for growth and change within us all. If you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate you. If you have any suggestions or ideas for any type of videos you want to see, any different character comparisons, or even videos like this one, please let me know in the comments below. Until then, I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.